In non-attachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. And in uncertainty lies the freedom from the known. When you release yourself from being attached to something, someone, or some outcome, you free yourself. You give yourself space. You give yourself the opportunity to breathe. And your breath is the portal to the sunflower, the bloomer, the boss bloomer within you, the light within you. The light within you that gets ignited when you stay in non-attachment. Non-attachment does not mean that you're detached. Detachment is very different from non-attachment. So you have attachment, detachment, and non-attachment. Detachment is a form of isolating yourself from the world, from people. You're remaining detached. Whereas non-attachment comes from a loving, wholehearted place where you remain non-attached to how things turn out or not. You remain more present, where you choose to focus on progress over pushing, proving, and pleasing. You choose to remain non-attached in a way when you allow yourself to dance with the universe and the universe to dance with you. Non-attachment is very different from detachment in the way that it is not a form of self-protection. Okay? It's more so a willingness to show up and be part of something or someone's relationship, right? And still allow the freedom for you and the other and whatever you're interacting with to flow just as it wishes, right? So detachment keeps you from vulnerability. Non-attachment encourages vulnerability. Okay? Attachment, on the other hand, can become destructive. Because when you have attachment to something or someone, then you might feel as if though you are not anyone or anything. If you didn't have this person, this relationship, this project, this thing that you're striving towards. When you're a sunflower and bloomer, you just show up with a sense of like non-attachment to things. And there's a sense of unconditional love that comes with that, a wholehearted love that comes with that, a conscious creativity that comes with that, because there's space there. I think in society, we've invented all these forms of symbols and labels to keep people attached. To keep people attached to different systematic ways of seeing the world, systematic ways of living. I think that the system has invented all of this to keep people from truly seeing what they can create if they remained non-attached. Psychologists also says, though, that we are wired for attachment. I would rather say we are wired for connection. And I think that the best way to have connection happen within relationships, for instance, is not through attachment. It's through vulnerability and openness and willingness to remain non-attached and still choose to love. still choose to show up, still choose to care. Whenever there is a condition there, as far as if you don't do this, then that means that I will do X, Y, and Z, then I don't think that that is beneficial. Non-attachment is. So I encourage you to ask yourself, where are you right now when it comes to attachment? Are you attached, non-attached, or detached? And how might you choose to cultivate non-attachment? What if non-attachment is cultivated through increasing your tolerance to the discomfort of not necessarily knowing how things are going to turn out? I know for myself, I got to the place of non-attachment as a result of blooming beyond perfectionism. I got to the place of non-attachment when I increased my tolerance for the discomfort of not being in control and remaining peaceful despite it all. Remaining peaceful even if I am not in control. Remaining peaceful and faithful that the universe has a greater plan than I ever will. I can cooperate with it. I can show up for it, but I cannot control it. In the Bloom Beyond Perfectionism program, there is a section in there where I talk about crossing the wooden beam of acrosia, where acrosia is resistance. Acrosia is just, I believe it's a Latin or Greek word for resistance. And resistance can manifest as procrastination, control, attachment, and expectation. And so I support the bloomers that are a part of the Bloom Beyond Perfectionism program in being able to cross this wooden beam, basically, from being preoccupied in resistance, being preoccupied with attachment or detachment, to be able to cross the bridge, cross the wooden beam, and rather choose non-attachment and acceptance. Acceptance that whether someone chooses to be with you or not is out of your control. Realizing too that remaining non-attached to the outcome of whatever you're doing is where freedom is found. That is where freedom and space within you is activated. This is how wisdom is unlocked. So you can apply to join the Bloom Beyond tribe first and foremost, which will allow you to come into our sphere, into our community, into our tribe of sunflowers, which are free guests, and also be around the bloomers and the boss bloomers as well, and myself and the team, to be able to begin your journey. Begin your journey in crossing this wooden beam of acrosia. Because you see, when you have attachment to something, or if you're detached, then you are experiencing resistance. Resistant towards what life might be like without that person, without that thing, that relationship, without that outcome, without things falling into place for yourself the way that you wish. And I would invite you to bloom beyond that, because it is possible. And I know that on the other side of that is so much freedom. Mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, financial freedom for yourself. So go to bloombeyond.com/apply. to apply to join a free monthly cohort, and I might see you on the other side to practice non-attachment. I love you. Stay bright, brave, and balanced.